Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Business List, your source for stories inside the party, across the country, and around the world. We are LP Alliance, an intercaucus coalition, rebuilding the Libertarian Party and revolutionizing the Liberty Movement. My name is Amanda Griffiths. I'm joined by Rose Leatherman. I'm joined by Jake Porter. I'm not joined by Kyle Davis. He is just here picking terrible intro music for a show that's supposed to be riling the people up. Kyle, what do you have to say for yourself, and how is everyone doing?
I knew it would bother you, and it made me happy.
We were so close to getting rid of Kyle before the show, but
we were. I found out he's allergic, everyone, to Strawberry Quick, and I tried to poison him. It didn't work. It just made his nose itchy. So we found out. Jake, I think you might have discovered a new poison, however. Would you show us, please?
Cinna mugshot. And Jocelyn was in the chat. She'd tell you all about this. This is horrible. It is watered down. It's exactly like you'd think a product that has Donald Trump's face on it would be. It's a scam.
Expensive and garbage?
It probably belongs political satire with proof. I would say that. Make America drink again. This will not do that.
Wonderful.
You'll have to drink a lot of this to even get a buzz. But
wonderful. We do have a little bit of Trump news to get in with, and I guess it's a little bit of party news as well. It's both, or maybe it's not party news. It is decidedly anti-party news because the party is not credited for anything in this clip. Kyle found a statement that Donald Trump made recently talking about
Chase
Ross
Oliver
Ulbricht.
actually sent it to us as a heads up.
Thank you, Chase Oliver, talking about Ross Ulbricht's release and who was responsible for it. Let's give it a listen.
We only had 2 negative votes. I didn't invite those two guys to anything. We had a guy named Rand Paul Jr. He's known as Rand Paul Jr. in the House. He always votes no. And we had somebody else. I did him a big favor, and I said, well, he's not going to, sir, I don't think so-and-so is going to vote. I won't mention his name. And I said, no, he's going to vote because I did him a very big favor, a very personal favor, as big as you can get, having to do with death and life. But having to do, no, he's going to vote. Don't worry about it. Okay, sir, if you tell me, but I don't think we're going to get his vote. Don't worry about it, I said. I know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. And sure as hell, he voted against this. And I said another one down, another great move by Trump. Anyway, so much for favors. You know, it's welcome to the world of politics, right? Right, David? We know about that.
So Kyle is interpreting this as Donald Trump crediting, or rather crediting himself via Thomas Massie for Ross Ulbricht's release. That is how you were interpreting this. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Which is just, an interesting fact of the evening.
It could be anything.
So,
it could be any.
No kingmakers. No kingmakers were credited.
No kingmakers were credited.
We did not get Angela's vote for the big beautiful bill. It's very sad.
Yeah, that's actually the job, guys. Angela McArdle has actually been elected to Congress. This is the joke's on you. She's in Congress now, and she did not vote for the big beautiful bill. And Trump just called her out explicitly. She's also had a sex change, and she now is using different pronouns. So,
see, I just figured that she had murdered Thomas Massie and is wearing him as a skin suit.
Things suddenly make sense now.
It explains the makeup line for sure. So yeah, no, that this is, I guess we are all chastened, and we have been shown. No, I mean, he doesn't say, he doesn't say Ross Ulbricht, technically speaking, so it could be something else. But you are correct that it does sound very much like he is attributing Ross Ulbricht's release to Thomas Massie's petitioning, as basically was confirmed by other individuals as well, that it was Massie who kind of pulled that lever, and Rand Paul, I think, wrote a letter late in the day or in the afternoon of Donald Trump's first day asking for Ulbricht's release, since it was not literally the first thing that Donald Trump did.
Now, if you're willing to look at the amount of money that Lynn Ulbricht spent to help fight for her son and the amount of money that Ms. McArdle lost from the party, they are similar amounts. So maybe those were secretly all dollars spent on Ross.
Pretty sure we wouldn't stop. I don't think we'd ever stop hearing about it if that were the case. Yeah, no, it took a couple major politicians reminding Trump to please pardon Ross Ulbricht, like he said he was going to do. it even took even Elon Musk got on board with it at one point, and then like even like the Democrat leaning media started getting in on it just because they wanted something that they could dunk on Trump for, like before it actually happened. So yeah, like because I was willing to give credit where credit was due for, you know, keeping libertarians focused on it and keeping it like on everyone's mind, keeping it in the news. But yeah, the amount of influence that the former LP chair actually had is questionable.
Well, and you know, her stories changed all the time, right? That we first of all invited Trump to speak that way he could listen to read our grievances, and then it became, oh, it's Ross Ulbricht, and then it's a cabinet post. I figure Donald Trump had made the agreement probably before his first term
He
ended.
invited himself, I think.
Right. Well, I think he did invite himself, but I think he probably made the agreement to free Ross back in 2020. He got all wrapped up in, you know, trying to use squatters' rights and stay in the White House, that he kind of forgot about it and didn't get it done. And then later on, it was something that they could use to get Massey's support, and that whenever they wanted to invite himself, they told Angela, like, oh, you can tell the base that's what you're going to get, and you're also going to get a cabinet position, which was obviously going to be Mike Lee, who they decided not to at some point, because that's why they had Mike Lee speak there. So her story morphed. I mean, there's a video of her talking to reporters where she doesn't even mention Ross, you know, in DC. That's something that got added on later on and then became the story once everything else kind of fell apart.
Right. Well, originally, like the couple, I think it was maybe about a month or actually less than that out from convention, there was an announcement was made that she had invited both Trump and Biden. Everyone just kind of laughed at their life. It's just a stunt. They're obviously not going to accept. Then Trump actually accepted, even though that deal had been made months and months prior. And then, yeah, a lot of people were angry about it. So then, like, the story became, well, one, we'll be able to air our grievances finally. I'm like, he's not gonna take questions. He's not gonna listen to us. It's gonna be a campaign stop, which I was
Libertarian Festivus.
Yeah.
Well,
but then also, like, one of the major selling points was that we were going to be rallying to help free Ross. So, like, because I remember being guilt tripped with the idea. They're like, hey, if there's any chance it might help get a guy out of prison, wouldn't you take it if it just means we have to listen to Trump for half an hour or so?
I would.
No.
If it just meant listening to Trump for an hour, for half an hour. I mean, like, it'd be fun. It'd be entertaining. Honestly, I would laugh. I'd play like a drinking game of some sort.
The problem is whenever
it was fun, I guess, but the drinks that they sold at the rally were really weak. They charged the same price that they charged for those ones that were like on the convention floor, which were already horribly overpriced, but they made them really weak for the Trump speech. I guess they didn't want a drunken brawl breaking out or something.
I feel like it would make more sense if you were drinking, quite frankly. Like the chat's saying that like drugs would help. Everything makes sense.
I like she says the chat. It's me.
Well, I was talking about Jocelyn. And I was talking about Joe. I'm not talking about you pretending to be us.
I'm the one that said it.
Jocelyn was saying that she needed more drugs. She was affirming your statement.
Yeah.
Joe said that he wanted drugs. So just as Donald Trump told Nick Sarwark that he would be pardoning Ross Ulbricht first, but Angela got all the credit, I am giving all the credit to the people who responded to your comments and not to you.
So the problem with listening to Trump for half an hour is that he will promise that he's going to talk to you for half an hour, show up 13 hours late, and then not give any bus back to society, leaving you to die.
Well, he actually did. He actually did that in Omaha, right? He showed up in Omaha, gave a speech there, had all his supporters go there, just left him stranded at the airport. Some of them, I think, froze to death. It was really bad. So, you know, it was a sacrifice he was willing to make.
Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
Jake, you found something. Well, I mean, not from your own research, but you found something in the Wall Street Journal discussing. So the Wall Street Journal broke a story about how Donald Trump evidently had sent a birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein. Seems like a body birthday card that maybe under typical circumstances you would just be like, okay, this is two guys. Did you stop? It's two guys.
This is what I was attempting to do, and Amanda lost her shit. But yeah.
So yes, or under typical circumstances, you might read the card as it being two guys just sort of telling crude jokes. It's in the shape of a naked woman. Birthday cards are sometimes in interesting shapes. It seems to be marginally clever, but under these circumstances, it does not look good.
I need
Kyle,
more pictures.
you have the article.
You know, as it says,
You have the article.
a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret. What secret were they
Yes.
sharing? They both like to drink Diet Coke.
It could be. So yeah, here, Kyle, why don't you read that to us there? This is the contents of the card.
Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Someone else has got to be Jeffrey. I'm just me.
Nor will I, since I also know what it is. I've never heard him.
We have some certain things in common, Jeffrey.
Yes, we do, come to think of it.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?
As a matter of fact, it was clear to me that last time I saw you.
A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret.
Lovely. So Donald Trump has denied that this card was written by him. By the way, the story also says that on the area, that Donald Trump's signature is placed to look like it is the woman's pubic hair in this card. So yeah, he's denying it. He's saying it wasn't him. He said something very strange, like I've never drawn pictures or something like that. I forget what his actual.
I never
quote
wrote
was.
a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not in my language. It's not my words. He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else, he said. He's really upset about this Epstein stuff. He's tired of talking about him.
I love the phrase, I've never written a picture in my life. It sounds like the talkies from the 1920s. I've never written a picture in my life, I tell you. I'm new to Hollywood. Yeah. So he's never written a picture in his life. And also the Epstein list never existed in his life.
Yeah, and why do you care so much about it? Okay, why is everyone still talking about this? I thought we were done with it. Okay, I'm muting Epstein. I swear I'm muting Epstein on all social media. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Why are you guys so obsessed?
This has at least half of Trump's base pretty upset. And I'm a little bit worried
It's
about
not
that
working,
because
yeah.
usually when Trump's base gets upset, sometimes they try to go to the next party that isn't the Democrats. And that looks like the Libertarians, because again, politics is vibes now, and we just try to go with the vibe that seems to match how we feel. And if Donald Trump isn't giving the right vibe, maybe we'll just go be Libertarians now. So I'm actually a little bit worried about the backlash, for purely, terrible, dark, seedy political reasons. I don't want a mass exodus of Republicans into the Libertarian Party.
Well, if they're willing to actually become libertarians, okay.
Fair.
If Trump lied about how he was going to have the Epstein list released, okay, think people, is it possible he may have lied to you about other things? Is it possible that politicians, no matter how much they claim to be outsiders, might not actually have the power or the inclination to change the system? Okay, is that possible? Yeah, if they want to come and be libertarians, awesome. We don't want a bunch of MAGA people joining, but still remaining effectively MAGA people. We don't want pre the Epstein list doesn't exist MAGA people joining us.
I dispute that. Rose is far too intelligent and attractive to be Trump's press secretary.
Well, that's why she needs blonde hair.
There we go.
Oh God.
Blonde hair and just to look extremely well. Anyway, yes.
And 45 fewer IQ points.
Fair, possibly fair. I am concerned about this, but it's also, we learned this week, I believe, that the footage from Jeffrey Epstein's cell or the prison where he was being kept the night of his death was just cut in Adobe. Like, they didn't clear the metadata. So it's two videos that are spliced together, and it was edited, 4 times? Or re-uploaded 4 times?
That's Russian disinformation. Why are you spreading
really bad Russian?
disinformation?
Like, Russian disinformation would actually make an effort It would erase the metadata. We are the United States of America. You're telling me that our intelligence and judicial justice departments don't know to clear metadata?
We're also pretty
so
lazy.
behind, guys. We are
And he
really
probably
lazy.
fired the people. He probably fired the people that actually knew how to clear the metadata. To be honest, so.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
completely fair. Like
It's like some student sitting in an office somewhere.
I would keep on board everyone who helped, bleach Hillary Clinton's emails, because at least they know how to do things. At least they can do things correctly.
And those people, are they still on the mortal plane?
I
People
don't
who
know
knew anything about Hillary Clinton's emails? Something tells me they may not be.
It does seem to go that way.
I mean, I heard that Jeffrey Epstein was Hillary Clinton's IT guy. So
that would also make sense. So yes, this is. I'm just insulted, honestly, that our politicians think so little of us. Is back in the day, people had to work to confuse the populace, and now they don't even try. And I don't even think that people necessarily believe lies. It's just, who's my guy, and then whatever lies they're telling, I will parrot. It is incredibly tribal. It's incredibly collectivistic and very concerning.
I mean, Bill Clinton at least worked hard to do this, right? He at least worked hard to lie. Donald Trump just goes up there and just spouts off a bunch of nonsense, and people are like, oh, yeah, he's saying what I believe. He hasn't said anything. He has to say a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense at all. And yeah, people will, because the Epstein stuff, he will say this is something that they campaigned on, and their base is so mad because they did campaign on it. They didn't talk about it a whole lot, but that's what the QAnon was, and that was a significant part of, even if it's 1 or 2% or whatever of the Republican Party, it's a little bit more than that. It was 5%. That's enough to swing some elections. They need them to get out there and vote, but you can see them all unraveling. That's what happens when they don't have Trump anymore. They will unravel. They start attacking each other. They don't know what the talking points are. Charlie Kirk is, Donald Trump calls me up, says not to talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Okay.
Some of my fondest, very early childhood memories were watching the coverage of the Clinton-Lewinsky sex scandal and cover-up, and that was back then. We had a country. Back then we used to be a people. We used to have a president who
I sometimes wonder.
I'm with Truth now. We're leftists.
Was I just young and I didn't pay attention, or were things actually better back then?
There was so much better. Like our politicians actually tried to con us. They actually. I felt respected when people were lying to me because there was an effort put forward, and the Republicans paid lip service to fiscal responsibility. The Democrats were like, "No, I'm not having sex with my intern," but they tried to cover it up. They took blood tests. They gave statements. You had to call in like body language experts to talk about why they were lying. Now it's all just blatant. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares about the art of the lie. And that's one of the most tragic things about the decline of the West.
Well, yeah, we've gone over to the art of the deal.
Is it that they don't even feel the need to try anymore because, one, they're just trying to, because they know that things are going to collapse soon? Or is it that they don't think that people will actually do anything because they've left people with just enough to lose, and they've left everyone so stressed and under the constant threat of bankruptcy and homelessness, and that they assume people just aren't going to bother because they're not going to care enough because they're too busy worried about paying their bills and being able to take care of their kids and not losing their job.
It's because it's all reactive tribalism. That's all it is. What is the other guy doing? All right, well, then I'll oppose the other guy. And yes, thank you, Joe. I can't even believe that I forgot that. The semantic thesis, the dissertation about the meaning of is. We used to be a civilization.
All empires collapse.
That was when they, initially when they started trying to change the meanings of words, it was really clever and edgy and plucky. He's gonna, what the chutzpah of trying to change the meaning of is. And now it's nobody cares anymore. Nobody tries. They're changing words left and right. Nothing means anything anymore. And it's just tragic. People are not even changing the meanings of words. They're just saying that words don't mean anything. And it's awful. And I am very, very upset by the complete, lack of competence when it comes to government concealment and state obfuscation.
I mean, can you imagine Bill Clinton going up there and being like, you know what, this is just all fake news. You know what the real problem is? George H.W. Bush, he had all kinds of affairs all the time, and everybody just covered it up. George H.W. and just started talking like that. It wouldn't have worked back then. People wouldn't have respected that.
No.
Really, because from like my parents told me, like presidents, it was always pretty well known that they were having affairs, but like at that time though, people like it was just kind of an open secret. People didn't really care what they were doing, and like they're like, oh, that's between him and his wife, and yeah, it only became like.
I think the problem was that it wasn't between him and his wife.
Well, yeah, but like, well, no. Like the fact that he was cheating, that was something for him and his wife to solve. I think 24-hour news cycles and like the tabloid media is kind of what like everyone was led to believe that they were supposed to care about a politician having an affair. I just remember being annoyed. I'm like, I don't give a shit about this. Okay, let's talk about actual corruption. I don't care who a politician is banging. I care that like they just voted for yet another war, or they just voted to expand the budget and impoverish everyone even further.
Well, and the other scandals too, Iran-Contra, that still had an impact on Reagan. Reagan thought he was done. The affairs did. I mean, Gary Hart, it sunk his campaign back in the 80s. So they could sink campaigns back then. The scandals were today. Donald Trump has scandals like these 2 and 3 times a week. It's just nothing. It's nothing new. And they will make up scandals on other people, whether it be the Biden auto pin just to get out of his own scandals. And the conservative media, what's odd to me is when you talk to people that only listen to the Fox News, Newsmax, those type of thing, they don't ever hear about these stories. They just dismiss them completely. Yeah. And so they don't know the scandals. But the Epstein stuff is able to kind of break through that because they do know about that, and they're able to hear that, and they're talking about it to a large degree.
Yeah. And I mean, to be perfectly honest, I didn't think we should care that the president was having an affair. I mean, that's, that didn't have any bearing on his duties in office unless it was distracting him somehow.
I mean, it showed that he
supposed
was
to be in the Oval Office. So
I mean, it showed that he was a predator. Like they reported as an affair. Like the guy's a rapist.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, we're
still talking about Clinton.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that they reported that because they were acting like, he was having an affair with. No, he was not having an affair with the intern. That implies that it was consensual.
The news literally blamed her. Like
yeah.
it was somehow the fucking
22-year-olds.
Yeah, right. As if she could actually have said
man.
No in that position. Yeah,
right. And if you read like her response to this point, like she's actually hilarious.
She's very funny. Oh yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I don't really follow her, but yeah, she kind of did over time manage to rebrand herself and actually do stuff.
This is fantastic. Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Well, we killed more time with that than I thought we would. But yes, we used to be a country, and we used to be a party, and perhaps will be again. There was on Sunday. It is good, I think.
Yes.
So on Sunday, in case anyone missed it, you can watch our 4.5-hour coverage of the LNC meeting in which a secretary was appointed. I do call it appointment. I don't call it election because I don't think that a couple of people voting for a party officer counts as an election, everyone. Okay. But so there's a secretary that was installed, appointed, what have you. And it was not Adrian Maligon, which was the expectation by a number of sources.
Yeah, he seemed to have it in the bag.
He
judging
did
by the grin on his face during most of that meeting.
So it was really something to watch in real time. In case people didn't, we highly recommend that you go and waste 4.5 hours of your life watching that 4.5-hour stream, because we also got Evan and Keith Thompson and Austin Martin, the Crying Hawaiian. We got him on after the installment. So watching that stream, there was a moment where Adrian Maligon began, as he'd done before, muting Andrew Chatterton and Austin Martin. Now, of course, Andrew Chatterton's quibbles about various processes on the LNC are very selectively curated. Be that as it may, he was being muted out of order. The secretary does not have the ability, or should not have the ability, to unilaterally and without direction mute people that are saying things that he does not like. Mm-hmm. Eventually, there came a time when Martin and Chatterton were moving to overturn the ruling of the chair. So this was something that does need to be entertained. This is a motion that needs to be entertained. Yes. Stephen Nikela initially tried not to entertain it. And
Austin legitimately stepped, like, I was actually really impressed with Austin on this one, where he was like, it must be entertained, and if the chair won't do it, another member of the board is allowed to take this instead. And it was just one of those, like, shit, that's correct. I wasn't expecting it. Right?
Your Honor. And yes, so Austin is interjecting, Chatterton interjects, and all of a sudden they both go silent, and you have Adrian Maligon who says, Mr. Chair, I've put Mr. Maligon and Mr. Martin in the wait. Sorry, not Mr. Maligon. I put Mr. Chatterton and Mr. Martin in the waiting room. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, that takes a vote.
It was so funny. So yes, it does take a vote. We checked the policy manual on this a couple of times. There was a new policy manual amendment that we covered in June, whereby there needs to be a 2/3 vote of the board to remove an officer from a meeting. There also needs to be a majority vote to remove a member from a meeting. So that did not happen. These two men were booted, and it really seemed at that point that there was Maligon believed that he was going to win, and it was kind of a flex. That is how it read. And talking to people afterward, it does seem that that behavior seemed to have been some kind of wake-up call, in a way, as to what could be expected. And it was, Meredith, the entire episode was funny just all around. That doesn't mean that it was procedurally in order, but it was an entertaining episode.
It was definitely another episode of As the LNC Turns.
Yes.
One would think that, unless you honestly didn't think there was any way you could lose, like, you'd kind of be on your best behavior if you're hoping to win an election.
Exactly. And if you thought that you had it in the bag, then you wouldn't need to be on your best behavior and you could do whatever you wanted.
Like, okay, generally I agree, but thinking that Adrian's going to be on his best behavior ever is
I mean, I think that was his best behavior, quite frankly.
Oh.
That's Adrian Maligon's version of his best behavior.
Oh no, Adrian.
But just in a different way. Yeah. So there.
Speaking of, we did ask Adrian if he would come on for an After Dark, and he has declined.
He declined.
That was
eager to come on.
I would. I would be totally down with an Adrian tell-all. It would be something.
The deal was always Karen Ann Harlos resigned and came on LPA After Dark. When Adrian Maligon resigned, he too would be welcome on LPA After Dark. He resigned. He's now welcome on LPA After Dark. So, invitation still stands now that he has resigned. Did Adrian mute everyone? I don't think it... Possibly, Chris. I'm not sure. But anyway, yes. So there were some switched votes toward the end, some fair weather alliances that seemed not to hold, and Evan McMahon was appointed secretary. Evan McMahon does have a very good track record. Now there are 2 spots open. Kathy Yanuskavich had said at the end of last year that she was going to resign at the end of that year and then stayed on after Angela McArdle's resignation. So she has now tendered her resignation. So has Adrian Maligon via a very, very long email about which I cannot complain because I have seen the length of my own articles in the Torch. However, it was quite long.
Meredith brings up a good point that LP Alliance has before said he's too mean.
Did we say he was too mean? There was a vote. I don't think the ruling was he was too mean.
I don't think I took part in that vote.
She has information distilled by me, and so I have distilled that down to basically Adrian mean.
I do not recall conversations in which he was called mean.
Amanda's literal words was Adrian mean.
That's correct. No,
See?
I do not. I don't recall any conversations like that. I recall it being more of an optical consideration.
Right, because I remember thinking, I'm like, I don't think I took part in that vote, but like after the fact, I'm like, well, it would certainly bring in views, but that's not necessarily always a good thing. But
so Meredith, what Keith Thompson told us after the show was in fact that he did not have the chance to hear back from his region chairs. When
not
it
from
came
all
to
of his region chairs.
Yeah. So, well, Joe, I could read it to you. If you want me to put it on a recording and read it to you, that would be better. Perhaps.
I have told Amanda like 30 times that I want to hear an Amanda Articles a bedtime story. And she has refused me. And so people need to continue bothering her until we make her read one on here.
You want funny voices?
Just you.
Just me. My voice is funny enough. Fantastic. All right. Enough of this. So, analyses, post-game analyses of that meeting. Austin Martin, I think, surprised many people, although he's always been a little bit of a wild card. Yeah. And Stephen Nikela did not acquit himself well, according to many perceptions that we have heard since from various sides of the LP.
No matter if you love or hate Austin, you have to admire that someone's like fucking victory dance is to stand up on mute and start strumming the uke. Oh man.
Which there's now a music video up on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, he posts those all the time.
Yeah.
I re-extend my invitation to do a collab with him, actually. If we can do a ukulele rendition of the Internationale, I think we can really go places.
I am all for a Kami Cross crying Hawaiian
Agitpop?
Agitpop.
I'll make a note. Yes. So thoughts on this? Thoughts on McMahon? Thoughts on the two new at-large slots? Where do we go from here? How is Steven doing? How did he look? There are so many things to evaluate. That meeting had everything. So I just open it up to the peanut gallery now for, again, a post-game analysis.
You know, this is all changed so very much since January, whenever the scandal first came out about Freedom Calls. We don't know exactly how it's going to look. A lot of odd things will happen. You've got people that will leave once they see that they're not able to get what they want, or the committee is still not acting in a manner that's going to get them there financially, or going to bring the party back in terms of members. And I think there's a lot of probably frustration there. So you've got resignations, you've got alliances that have to form. You know, you've got most of the people are still aligned with the Mises caucus, but then you've got an ex-Mises caucus that's on there, and then you've got more of people that are just opposed to the Mises caucus completely on there, and they have to form alliances, and that's why you have things that come out a little bit surprising that happen on the back end through their negotiations that you don't quite expect. It surprised me to see this outcome. I didn't expect to see Evan win that. I figured it would be Ben Weir or Adrian Malagon. So that was surprising, but these types of things can happen. So not really shocked at the end of the day. And we'll probably see more resignations. It would not surprise me to see the committee look completely different by the time we get to Grand Rapids next year.
So
yeah, that surprised me too. Like, for a while, it was looking like, okay, the Mises caucus is, okay, there are still people on the LNC, but they're on their way out. Like, they're not going to survive. We had the Mises splinter faction, who had not the majority, but they seem to be kind of in charge of things now. And then you had the non-Mises people. Those two groups were the ones that were willing to work together, because they were at least trying to keep out the regular Mises people who were in favor of the kingmaker strategy. They were willing to at least align against those people. So it has been interesting how, like the Mises splinter faction now seems to be imploding. So it's back to just being non-Mises versus Mises. So this could kind of go either way. Like this, I imagine we will see fewer people leaving the Mises caucus now. They feel like they still have representation on the LNC and like they can still win. So, yeah.
So,
I'm not
since
understanding
Meredith,
it.
it's Adrian resigned to brag that I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
He knew I wouldn't want to look like I was following him. So, as a follow-up question here, Meredith, you've gone with trying to fill Adrian's seat with Ben Weir. Why? The only one who's ever really fucked over is Meredith. All right, we have Adrian is abusive confirmed. Make the headlines.
So yes, Jake has just turned down an impromptu nomination from Joe Hughes.
For some reason, I don't think that the Mises faction on there, I don't think I could get a single one of their votes. I don't think there's any path to victory here.
You could whip votes probably. You could just get dirt on them, couldn't you? That's how.
I mean, like, Rob Vinson is someone who I'm fairly certain, as a lawyer from Florida, would tell Angela exactly where to stick it. So, like, he might enjoy this. He might just be like, does anyone have a problem if Meredith comes on to talk about her nomination of Ben?
I don't know, but I'm not the only
put
person.
you on the spot. Get wrecked.
Fine with me.
No, Meredith's too mean, Kyle. Evidently,
Meredith's
that's why we overrule people. It did not have that. At least based on the discussions that I was a part of, it was not due to him being too mean. The discussions that I was a part of had to do with like newsworthiness and like whether he had done a thing, as well as optical concerns. But anyhow, you can bring her on if you want.
I sent her the link immediately.
Okay. Yeah, we would like to know.
Oh, wait a second. I'll bet the link failed. It did. Damn it.
We would like to know why Meredith nominated Ben Weir.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice. Because like the New Hampshire group, they're not really aligned with the regular Mises people, but they weren't necessarily
because
part of the splinter faction either. So this will be interesting.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding, Kyle. What do you need me to do?
I needed to get it to my phone, and that was the quickest way to do it.
Okay. That's what I am to you. I'm just a conduit to you.
I sent it as an SMS.
Yourself. Anyway.
Amanda, you're a conduit for my voice to the people via the torch.
If anything, I feel like this is reversed by virtually all public opinion.
You're voiced through me?
Yes. Wasn't that what Rob said on Swampcast?
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see. There's Mare.
Good evening, Meredith. I guess it's, it's evening-ish. How are you doing?
I just got home. Well, I parked. I'm parked. I'm not driving. Don't get weird.
Oh, we would just assume that your phone is mounted and not tell anybody.
It's not. I'm actually
Like Jim
holding
Wiley's.
it because I'm weird. Hold on.
No, you're in Mexico doing the speed limit. No problems. We know how this works.
I just have my phone stacked on top of things.
So I nominated Ben because Ben told me he wanted it, and I was fucking around.
It did seem that way in the email.
I'm not sure that anyone's taken it seriously, actually.
Okay.
I bet Ben has taken it seriously.
Sure he has. He is now up. He is now.
Somebody seconded it, but then nothing's happened since. So I don't know. I mean, there's another somewhat tactical reason I wanted Ben. Ben is actually one of the only true independents on the LNC at this point. And he doesn't have a vote because of Pat. But I've heard from very reliable sources that Mr. Ford does not almost ever consult the region chairs while Ben does, but Ben is the alternate.
Yep.
So I would like,
Weren't you there when Stephen was elected and Pat was like, "I've gotta ask my chairs what to do"?
right.
Well, that
Yes,
explains
I
why
was
he
there.
never heard
Well,
back from
okay.
him.
He did ask the region
I was
chair,
actually
Ben.
told by somebody that it's very rich that he does stuff like that because he does never reach out to them.
It's so Joe's got a fair point. Like a lot of people thought it was a troll. He says that he thought,
No, that was a
Yes, it
strategic
was.
move.
yeah,
Martin claims that he.
Yeah, it was a strategic move because whoever told you guys that we were going to put McMahon as at large, whoever told you that must have told the Mises Caucus.
the Mises Caucus told
and
me before I
they
knew
did
about
the
it from anyone
first-
else.
Oh, okay. Well, then, so they must have done the first smart thing that they've done since January.
And it came
and
via
just
Austin
said, we're
Martin.
going to preempt it.
Austin Martin claims.
And the issue is,
Go for it.
oh, the issue is that, I mean, you can ask Dustin Nana as well. It put Keith and Dustin in a weird position because Evan is a Region 3
Right.
chair. And they're like, so in one of the rounds, I was told that Evan told Dustin Nana to vote for Adrian. I think he thought he was going to get knocked out. Then when he was still in by the last round, he said, no, you can switch your vote to me. I assumed Keith was having a similar conversations, but I guess you said that maybe he hadn't heard back from all of
Right.
them.
Right. Seems like
Austin-
an awkward position for them to be in.
Austin Martin claims.
Yeah, I mean,
That he told Adrian, he wrote this on X, that he told Adrian that this was going to happen, that he planned to nominate McMahon. Of course, he had a remark at the end of the meeting saying, you know, Adrian should have negotiated, Adrian should have talked with people. His claim is that he tipped off Adrian.
I do know that Austin Martin has been emailing Adrian a lot on the side, being like, you're not going to like what happens if you don't respond to me. But Adrian just ignores them. Oh, Adrian on his personal. So Adrian has a Adrian at lnc.com or whatever it is, lp.org. And then he also had the secretary one temporarily. So he had blocked Austin on the name one, the one with his name,
Okay.
because when Austin first got on, he was very heavy with the emails.
Adrian has been doing a bit of tell all on X, and it's been a ride.
I don't see any of these posts, by the way. I just find out later when he's like, did you see my thing on X? I'm like, no, I don't follow him, but like, I don't follow him like that.
Right. Well, Kyle is apparently writing a tell-all for the Torch soon, or releasing it soon. He is drafting and redrafting it because I've been yelling at him about it. But
I
yeah,
gave
just to
Amanda a
let you
rough
guys
draft,
know.
and she thought I was making her edit the whole thing.
I did
Oh my
actually.
God. So let you guys
was
know,
like, oh.
Jonathan McGee and myself are now the two most important votes on the LNC. I will accept. I will.
Wonderful. And in what currency? do you
What's your
accept
drink
that?
of choice? Yeah.
It better not be what is it? A mugshot that Jake's got earlier. Diet Coke and water.
Water.
Right
All
here.
right.
This year we'll file the.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is. It's a time for weird alliances. You're a little bit choppy. And your face is frozen.
I
At any
want to
rate.
be
Well,
forever
that's always fun when that happens.
So yeah, we have been discussing various nominees, potential at-large nominees, and right now it's really up in the air. There are many things from many different camps. Ben Weir is on that list, but
In which case, we'll need a new Region 6 alt.
yes. Oh, should be. What about Jeremy Kaufman? Be great.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
No, Jeremy's not the one they're floating.
I hope Pat Ford is the new regional.
Let's
I mean,
just
if they would-
reshuffle the entire LNC.
Yeah.
If they would flip that around, that would be fine. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're
I've been
going to.
saying that.
I've heard. Oh, I'm sorry. I've heard Sean Kennedy floated for at-large positions as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know who's gonna get what. I know I've been hit up by a bunch of people soliciting me for voting for them for at large, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk
Like, just give
about
me
the
money.
LNC ever.
Here's my Cash App, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, dude, pay for something for me. Buy me Chanel. I don't care.
It does open up an interesting strategic decision or strategic discussion, right? Because on the one hand, I think people who want to see radical change on the LNC in Grand Rapids are a little bit wary of putting in anyone that is perhaps too popular, because you don't want people to be too contented with something that needs change. On the other hand, it would be nice to at least plug the holes in a sinking ship while having people still know that this ship is sinking.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I can say is that being on the LNC, it seems that one of the most challenging parts about being on it for others, not myself, but others, is that there's a lot of outside pressure from your quote unquote friends in the party on what to do, that it makes doing certain things difficult.
Yeah. And to be fair, I have said this about Ben many times, that I think that Ben, as chair of LPNH, has pressure not to rock the boat with some of his friends in LPNH, and therefore kind of lets them do things that are, that are,
look at the puppy,
that are perhaps not in the best interest of the party and are not reflective of the platform. So yeah, it's hard. And I think,
it's true. I mean, and you guys don't know the amount of freaking shit we get for everything we do. I've got every LNC vote. I got multiple DMs on Twitter, emails in my inbox, people either hating me or loving me. It's very obnoxious, but it's fine.
Wow, I really want to go out and run for a position now.
I know.
The worst part of the hate mail and such is you have to respond to them and send them back your own. It's just horrible.
Do you really? Can't you just ignore them?
No.
You have to.
No, and you're supposed to have some degree of professionalism.
Oh, well, screw that.
Lost American.
Screw that. Yeah.
Well, if you would quit kicking her out of there and sending her to the waiting room, it probably wouldn't be.
She's not Hector Ruse.
She tried to appeal the decision of the chair, and she must be stopped. Honestly,
no, Kyle needs to be stopped now. He's mad with power.
Stephen
did not look great at that meeting.
Rose has offended me.
I tried to warn you guys. I don't know how much longer I'll be here.
No, he didn't look great at all. I didn't think he didn't seem really in control of the meeting whatsoever.
Who really wears the pants there?
Well, I think the answer was Adrian. I think very much the answer was Adrian, and we sort of saw that. I think at one point when Adrian muted people, his only response was "thank you," kind of a fatigued "thank you." When
I can't read, Joe, I'm illiterate.
He should, based on the draft that Kyle has sent me for certain things, I am beginning to question Kyle's literacy. But no, Kyle's a great writer. It's fine.
If I have an idea and the whole narrative in my head, I can write a thing and it turns out pretty solid. It sounds like a speech written down, but it turns out fine. If I have a thing that I want to write about and I don't take the time to edit it for like 78 times, it comes out and like I'm sure third graders could do a better job.
Well, Kyle, why don't we do it this way? Why don't you tell us a little bit about the thrust of that narrative, and then that will give people a teaser for what you're going to write about, because there are various individuals with various degrees of prior to knowledge that could not be revealed in its entirety, and Kyle is now willing to go on record with certain things that he was not before. So Kyle, what can you tell us?
So I talk to everybody. It's one of the things that I have talked about on here multiple times. I'm not afraid to talk to the MC folks. I'm not afraid to talk to the former MC folks or to the anti-MC folks. It causes strife sometimes. I have had Meredith pretty angry at me, and I've had good friends who are anti-MC mad at me, and then Rob Vincent called me out at LPF, and we had to help,
Hug it out.
hug it out, basically. Right. We sat down and had drinks together and bonded over eating that horrible fig that had been soaked in moonshine for days.
I'm sorry. You just talked about how you bonded with the guy over eating a horrible fig, and
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay.
I said what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
So how it was the same fig and you guys shared it?
It was very Lady in the Tramp.
Never
No,
wants to
That was what I was, that was
eat the
that was
same
the
fig
image that I had
when the
in my head,
fig
yes.
hasn't even been cleaned after the first person took a bite of the fig. It's just an entire.
No, I mean, when a guy asks you to take a bite of his fig, you go for it, right? Anyway, there were 2 figs that had been sitting and soaking in moonshine, and we each had one on the Swampcast stream for LPF.
Great. That's not the
And,
story, is it?
No. But one of the MC folks that I talked to let me know about the deal that was going on between the non-MC and the former MC people the Tuesday before the Sunday. And since that was coming from an MC meeting, that meant that Austin Martin and Andrew Chatterton knew then. And I mentioned Andrew Chatterton here because Andrew Chatterton has talked about how this was his push and he's been successful in things. I personally give more credit to Austin for being the person who would go out and talk to people across the aisles and things. But that's, if Chatterton wants to take credit for it, I'm not arguing with it. Anyway, I reached out to anti-MC contacts and was like, hey guys, is this true? And they were like, how did you find that out? And it's like, the MC is aware of this. And then I heard it from someone outside of the LNC who is, had talked to former MC people, and we got a thing on the record. So it was the leakiest backroom dealing of all time. The back room was actually the middle of Fifth Avenue. So I let them know. I was like, hey man, they're aware of this. They're asking to talk to you. And I kind of got the response of no, we don't want to talk to that. We can't trust that.
Sorry, qualify the pronoun. Who is them in this case?
The anti-LNC contacts.
The anti-LNC contacts?
Yeah, that's what I meant. The anti-MC contacts. We're like, we can't trust the MC to talk about this. And at that point, I talked with Austin Martin, not to give him anything away or anything else, but to say I don't love this. What are your plans on this? And he talked about the part where he was going to try to amend the agenda. And it was like, that's not going to work because, the votes just aren't there. There's 9 votes required. And
I remember Kyle talking about this prior to the meeting, and I was like, I don't think Chatterton's whipped the votes for this. I was like, has he whipped the votes? And Kyle's like, I don't think so. I was like, yeah, no, it's not going to work. It's not just something you could just raise.
And Austin told me that he had a backup plan that was crazy, but that he thinks it could work. And it was like, all right. He was like, I can't tell you right now. And as soon as he said that, I did the calculus in my head and was like, is he going to nominate Evan? And so, I talked about that with Amanda. Sorry. And, Amanda and I were sitting and watching the meeting, and it was, we watched the amendment fail, or the amended agenda fail, and we were watching the entire meeting go down. And it was like, so this hasn't happened. What's going to happen here? And when Austin nominated Evan McMahon, it was one of those oh shit, this crazy motherfucker's going for it.
And if there's one crazy motherfucker who's going to go for it on the LNC, whatever it is Austin Martin.
Yeah. And we, we started watching things go down, and we started watching people talk and everything. And I'm friends with some of the folks in the like R3 middle of the country portion, the Region 3 folks. And, I was like, what the hell is happening? What's going to happen here? And there was nothing but questions and like, we have no idea. We have no idea what's going on. And as we found out with Keith later, Keith had no idea what was going on.
It's a beautiful, spontaneous, disorganized mess of victory. It's victory routinely is.
It's the first time I can honestly say. Amanda's told me 1,000 times that I'm wrong for saying that I hate politics. She's like, no, politics is amazing. It's important and everything else. And it's just like, okay, I understand. It's important to you. Okay.
It's important to everyone. This is the entire it's important to everyone. And people are like,
See?
oh, I hate politics. It's not important. It is important. The people who
I talk to her every day.
From you
she
not
gets like
caring
this
about
every
politics
day.
are the people in whose interest it is to make you not care about politics.
Every
the
day.
state will never turn its back on you. You need to fight it. You need to fight it in the arena.
And that moment of seeing people who were like, this is, from my perspective, better than all the other things. I would rather have this and try to do this thing to move forward, was the first time I've ever been like, that was actually fun politics. And like I explained then,
yeah.
it was not something where it was like, anything personal against Adrian. I explained that I didn't want anyone to have that power over the board, but like I understood the Keith was saying R3 represent, and AHS throwing down the R3 South. It was
go for it.
Wild. It was like watching fireworks in the like heartwarming and like wow way.
Music video now? Anyway,
no, ew. If I was going to listen to that song, it'd be JonTron's version anyway.
It was a victory for solidarity over unity. Again, unity is you push other people out, you fall in line, you don't defy, you don't resist in the interest of cooperation and getting along to go along. Solidarity is when you stand up for your values and what you believe. Unity is a deference to one person. Unity
was the LNC under Angela McArdle.
Absolutely. That was unity. And I think
they had such efficient meetings. That was
very much so.
Yeah, that was like I think it was the December meeting where she's like, everything was so efficient. We got things done so quickly. There weren't all these
she paid the Freedom Calls invoices on time. I will give her that.
There we go. Just like the trains running on time, the Freedom Calls invoices were paid on time. Now the entire meetings were just people just going around in a circle talking about how wonderful she was, and they didn't need to interject because Angela McArdle speaks. It is the voice of the people, and the people hear what Angela McArdle says. That it's always no one needs to say anything else. Everyone is floored by her wisdom, and so please speak more, Angela McArdle. Yes. But solidarity is kind of messy sometimes. It's about standing up for your principles and
we saw that this last week.
Well, yeah,
or this past week. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The Sunday meeting.
We saw that this week.
Yes, the Sunday meeting was the first time in a long time that we've seen solidarity prevail over unity on the LNC, and it was heartwarming. I saw that and I tried not to laugh.
I would say that if they were running on anything, it would be time.
That's not even funny. Rose, your
because
thoughts?
They eat time.
Your thoughts on this wonderful meeting and journey that we've all been on together, and that we're going to continue to be on, because we are not going to go through this nomination and appointment process quickly. It's going to be slow and arduous and painful. What are your thoughts? How do we get through this?
Get out while you still can. Don't get involved with this party. In all seriousness, yes, we need principled libertarians who will come and join us in our journey to make the Libertarian Party libertarian again.
And that's why Rose is running. No, it's not. I'm sorry. No.
I'm
she's
not opposed to it. I don't know if I am ready to. I don't know if I'm ready just yet to run
Right.
for an LNC position.
That makes sense. To stoke.
I don't know if I'd be able to give it the attention that it needs right now in my life.
That is very fair.
But I'm not opposed to it. Somebody might be able to talk me into it, potentially.
We will work on lobbying. Jake, what did you learn from this past week's episode of As the LNC Burns?
Oh, it's a mess. But what I did learn is that the change can happen pretty rapidly, and it's not been that long ago since January when that report came out, and that we see that the LNC is changing, and with that change, there will be, I think, some good come of it. There will be new people come onto the board. We will see different styles of leadership. We will see different ideas come in there. And I think it's going to force people to work together. Karen Ann's resignation has kind of forced something else to happen within the party. And it can be good because the party's been stagnant. It starts to stagnate again. Mm-hmm. And so I think that we can see some real good stuff come out of this. Unfortunately, it looks messy. It looks bad. It's not fun. It certainly can't be fun for the people serving on there. And I know they catch a lot of hell for it. And it's not, wasn't fun whenever I was on the LNC 15, 20 years ago. And it's even worse now. But at the end of the day, I think the party will survive. Now, what it looks like, does it look like the Constitution Party of today? Something that's, on its deathbed? Or does it look like a strong, vibrant party? That's a question I don't have the answers to. But this week here shows that there's still a lot of people that care about the party. There's still a lot of things that are going to have to be navigated out. If we get some real good people on these two at-large seats, things could really start to change for the positive and just continue to grow there.
Absolutely. And this weekend we have another big convention. We have the Michigan convention coming up. Michigan is a hotly contested battleground within the LP state, as well as elsewhere. And we will be, I believe, streaming this. We'll be comment streaming this over the weekend. So join us as we watch crazy things go down in Michigan. This is really this could go either way. This
had better be entertaining at the very least. Okay.
Yes.
We're counting on you and people to make this entertaining, please.
Again, we are, as LP Lines, we are not just an entertainment service. We do work on strategy and delegate mobilization and conventions. So Michigan has been one to watch and one to work on for a very long time. We also learned this past week that Michael Heise and Angela McArdle have gotten back together. They're friends again, and they are working together again to return the party to the way that the Reno reaction had it all those years ago. So get involved.
What's the new nickname we have for Angela?
Imbezabel.
Imbezabel. Let's use that. Jocelyn says we should use that.
Yes, I enjoy that.
So
yes,
what will Michael Heise's nickname be?
I think Michael Heist is good enough, especially Heist and Imbezabel.
Heist, yes.
See, like,
Imbezabel.
I think in my head of Heisler, but different issue entirely.
So tune in this weekend. Come and cheer on the Allies in Michigan, and we will have a big week coming up for you all. Until next week, we are the Business List.
We're gonna say anarchy, and we're gonna say anarchy. see. Now I wanna see anarchists on the business list. Destroy